everyone. Welcome to this extraordinary meeting of the Council, the City and County of Swansea. First item on our agenda today is apologies for absence. Mr Evans.
Thank you, Presiding Member. I have apologies from Councillors Alison Pugh, David Phillips, Erica Kirshner, Kevin Griffiths, Linda Taylor-Lloyd, Mike Day and Niles Langston.
Are there any other apologies? No hands going. Okay, thank you. Next item is disclosures of personal and prejudicial interests. Are there
Johnny
any?
does. Yes, here's those apologies.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Cyril, you got your hand up?
Yeah, my sister works for the City and County of Swansea. Do I leave the meeting then?
Councillors, if I can just give you, thank you, President Member, if I can just give you some advice. There is, of course, only one item on the agenda today, and that's the pay policy statement for 21-22. In terms of councillor interests, the report does talk about the remuneration of officers, particularly senior officers. So if you have a family member or a close personal associate that works for the local authority, I would ask you to declare a personal interest only under paragraph 10(2)(c) of the code. I would remind you to fill out the form, and I will take a block declaration, as I know there are many members that have family members or close personal associates that work for the local authority. So if you can all raise your hand icon if you wish to declare a personal interest in relation to agenda item 6. And again, I'd remind you to fill in the form and return it to DEM services. We're just making a note of those that are declaring an interest.
Okay, just hold them there, or
Yeah.
Mr Evans makes a note.
There's a hell of a lot to do.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay, thank you very much.
And then in relation to senior officers that are present at the council meeting, we will need to declare a personal and prejudicial interest and leave the remote meeting. So again, all those senior officers that are present, can you please raise your hand to declare a personal and prejudicial interest?
Yeah,
can I just say that for the purposes of the council meeting, Adrian Child will remain to answer any technical questions that you may have in relation to the pay policy statement, and Hugh Evans will remain to ensure that a minute is taken off the decision.
Okay, then understood. Is there anyone else who feels they need to indicate or ask a question? Got Andrea Lewis. Andrea, do you?
Oh, apologies, that's a legacy hand, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, but no other hands, so we move on. There are no announcements today for item 3. Item 4 is announcements of leader.
I have no announcements, Chair, thanks.
Thank you. Item 5, public questions. Are there any, Mr. Evans?
No public questions received.
Thank you. Item 6, the main item on the agenda, is the pay policy statement 2021-22. As has been indicated, it will be presented by Mr. Adrian Child. Welcome, Adrian.
Thank you, Chair. This policy is a requirement that we present to the council within the current financial year. It's a requirement under the Localism Act that we do this. This is a policy that has previously been presented to the council last year, and particularly in the autumn of last year, to reflect changes in the employee pay grades and grading structure. Effectively, there isn't any substantial change to the policy since that was implemented in October, other than to reflect that there's been recent government decisions regarding the application of the 95k exit payment, which relates to exit payment arrangements for local authority employees in this instance, basically revoking that that provision, certainly for the time being. So that really is the only significant change since this policy was first presented to, lastly presented to the council back in the autumn. So that's really, I think, all I have to say.
Thank you. Are there any questions by members? Any points? No hands being risen. See, the resolution is on page 1. It's been moved, I understand, by David Hopkins. Councillor Hopkins, you're moving?
Yeah, thanks, Presiding Member. The report is self-explanatory, but before I move the report, can I apologise to members today for having to call this meeting. This was an oversight, and obviously this will not happen again, unfortunately. We are in this position. It should have been brought at the beginning of March, but I'm sure that we got things in place to ensure this don't happen again. I've got nothing to add to the report other than to move it and just thank officers for bringing it before us today. So I there move, Presiding Member.
Seconded by Councillor Andrew Lewis. I understand, Andrew.
Actually, it'll be me, Chair, as leader. Thank you very much. Happy to second.
Sorry, Rob. Okay, it's duly moved and seconded. All in favour?
I'm doing it.
Well, here we'll go through the vote.
The vote should be appearing on your screen. Just to remind only councillors to vote. Officers, please do not vote. I'll give it a moment.
Presiding Member, Councillor Anderson, can I have a vote? Although I got a
Councillor Anderson, if you give it a moment, as I said, and then I'll go through, if anyone hasn't had it, I'll go through that in a minute's time.
no, it's not that. That's not the case, Hugh. I've declared an interest. Do I have a vote?
What was your interest? Was it a personal prejudicial interest? Or was
Personal,
it
yeah.
If it's a personal interest, you do have a vote, yes.
I do. Okay, thank you.
Right then, has anybody not received it? If you could raise your virtual hands, please, if you haven't received the vote. Right. Councillor Anderson, you haven't received it. How will you vote, Councillor?
4.
Okay. Councillor Lloyd? Councillor Clive Lloyd?
Oh, right, sorry, Hugh, I couldn't hear that. Yeah, 4.
Okay. Councillor Leslie Walton?
4.
Councillor Penny Matthews?
4.
Councillor Davis? Councillor Nick Davis?
Yeah, Hugh, I can get the thing on the chat on my screen and I've attempted to vote, but it keeps jumping about and I can't tell whether my vote has been duly submitted.
Right, how do you wish to vote?
4.
4. Okay, and Councillor Kirshner?
4.
Okay, so everyone else has managed to vote. Thank you very much. I will just check to see.
I haven't voted. Councillor Walker.
Hello? Who hasn't
I haven't voted. Councillor Walker. 4.
raised your hand, Councillor Walker? Okay. How do you vote, Councillor Walker?
4.
Are there any other councillors who have been unable to vote? No. All right, I'm closing the poll now, and let me just look at the results quickly to make sure where I am. Okay. Seems to be a number of people who haven't voted. Having said that, the vote is the majority is clearly for, with nobody voting against or abstaining. So I can't guarantee I've captured everyone's vote because I only have about 50 votes here. So that's still carried, so I have no issue with that. But just to let you know, your names may not appear on the voting list. Just being clear for you to know that. Okay.
Hugh, can I ask, Councillor Evans, can I ask a question here? When you submit the form back, it doesn't tell you actually that it's gone. That's the point Nick Davis is making as well. So I put the vote for on the form, but nothing told me that that went back to you. I'm hoping it has.
I appreciate that. That's a software issue that we can't do anything about.
Yeah, but can you confirm then that I voted?
It'll take you a few minutes. Give me a moment.
I just say, I noticed Terry is back. Terry Hennigan, welcome back, Terry. I express the, good wishes to your wife and your family.
Okay, thanks.
See you back.
I can confirm you have voted, Councillor Evans.
Thank you, Hugh.
Here with June Burtonshaw. Can you check I voted, please?
You have voted, Councillor Burtonshaw.
Thank you.
Does anybody else want me to check now?
Can you check for me who it was bouncing on mine, but I did vote.
Councillor Lewis, yes.
Councillor
My hand is up. Can I suggest, as there is this question of members do not know if their vote has been received and recorded, that you actually do this a verbal checkup rather than relying on individuals to...
I can read the names of votes I've had. I've received votes for from Andrea Lewis, Andrew Stevens, Beverly Hopkins, Bridget Rowlands, Chris Holly, Christine Richards, David Helliwell, David Hopkins, Des Thomas, Gloria Tanner, Jan Curtis, Jeff Jones, Jen Rayner, June Burtonshaw, Kelly Roberts, Louise Gibbard, Linda James, Lyndon Jones, Mandy Evans, Mark Child, Mark Thomas, Mary Jones, Mary Sherwood, Mike Dirk, Mike Lewis, Mike White, Nick Davis, Paul Lloyd, Paxton Hood-Williams, Peter Black, Peter Jones, Phil Downing, Richard Lewis, Rob Stewart, Robert Francis Davis, Robert Smith, Ryland Doyle, Sam Pritchard, Sue Jones, Terry Hennigan, Wendy Lewis, Will Thomas, Will Evans, Yvonne Jardine, and I had verbal votes from Cyril Anderson, Clive Lloyd, Leslie Walton, Penny Matthews, Nick Davis, Erica Kirshner and Gordon Walker. Is there anybody there that hasn't had their name read out?
Oh, hello. I'm Councillor Mann, Irene Mann. I did vote. In fact, I voted twice for, but you didn't read my name out as having my vote registered.
I'll record it as a for vote. Anybody
yes,
else?
For vote.
Hugh, I had a message coming in. Did you mention my name?
I didn't read your name out, I don't think, Gareth. Let me just double check. No, I didn't read your name. How do you vote, Councillor Sullivan?
For.
Anybody else now? Okay, I close the vote as a unanimous vote then. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. That concludes our agenda for today. Can I thank you all for your attendance and declare the meeting closed. Thank you. Have a nice weekend and a nice Easter.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.